as you come back down to the surface. Are you coming off of the cloud?
Yes.
What do you see?
A kaleidoscope of light.
Light.
A prism.
What colors?
Every color that you could imagine.
Any shapes?
Yes. Space. Sparkling, glimmering light. Yes. Many different lights connecting, sending messages.
Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel?
At one, at peace, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This is my nature.
This is your nature?
Yes.
Is this coming from you, or is it being...
This is me.
This is you.
Each piece is a part of me, and the greater whole is me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is part of you.
Yes.
You feel at whole here.
Repeat.
You feel whole here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
That's good.
It's better than good.
Can you enjoy this space here?
Yes.
Can you move through it?
Yes. I'm moving now.
Okay.
There's a constant flow of movement.
Constant flow of movement.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Where do you want me to go? I can go anywhere. There are no limits.
Where do you want to go?
I'd like to bathe in my existence.
Okay. Go bathe in your existence.
It feels very good. This is where it all starts. This is where it all develops.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place of creation. It's a place of manifestation. It's a place where life springs out. Many parts of me, they come from here. This is a electromagnetic field of the highest order.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
have you ever left this place before?
I'm always here. I can always access it. It is a empowering energy source from every existence that I have on various dimensions and from various places. It is I could say a nuclear power source, but it's so much more than that. It's much more powerful than that.
What do you gain by coming back to this place?
I gain my strength.
Strength. Why do you need this strength?
To carry on with the ideas and concepts and the desires that I have with my existence, the splitting into many different levels. I can sense multi-dimensions. I can sense my existence in many different places from here. It's, shall we say, a tower, to use one of your metaphors of airplanes coming and going to different places, visiting here and visiting there. This is my control tower for, to give you an example, to give you a symbol.
So what do you do with your time when you're not at this place?
There is no time, you know this.
I do know this.
We're all at once. Everything is happening from this place all at once. Everything that you can imagine, everything you've ever imagined, everything you can't imagine is happening from this place.
What is the purpose you carry out when you leave this place?
I never leave this place.
You never leave this place.
I told you that.
When you go into your body, because you're in a body now, right?
No.
No?
No. I can be in a body. I am existing in a body, but consciously I'm in this place right now. I've drawn my attention into this place. So for that, I'm coming from that perspective. And this perspective is not having a body. This perspective is pure energy. The electromagnetic fusion of all that I am. It is from this place.
Well, I'm speaking to a body now. What was your purpose for coming into this body now?
Repeat.
What was your purpose for coming into the body that I'm speaking to?
I see, yes. This purpose is creation. This purpose is growth. This purpose is to realize who I am at a very high level, to lead the consciousness of Earth to a much higher place, to consciously create, to be aware, to grow, to feel, to help others grow, to make the most of this life, to be me as fully as I possibly can be.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it is very beautiful.
Well, thank you for doing all of that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. We were waiting for you to come here and visit.
I'm glad you did. All right, well, you can always come back to this place. You know that. You've said that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move forward. Let's leave this place. You can come back here anytime you like. Now we're going to move forward. We're looking for an appropriate time to stop and look at and examine. Are you moving forward?
I may shoot out in any direction, so if you're saying forward, we may say a future timeline for this window, yes.
Okay. Yep. Let's go to a future timeline.
Let's have some fun, go 200 years into the future.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be of interest.
So are you going to 100 years forward on
200.
200?
Yes.
On planet Earth?
Yes, we're on Earth.
Okay. And are you in a body? Or are you just looking?
Pure energy right now. Yes.
Okay. What do you see?
I see blue and aquamarine. I see more oceans. I see a much greater connection to the earth. I see the earth is interconnected. Now it's AC. I see a interconnected galaxy, a federation of different species of planets that have now made their contact with Earth, that have brought it in and shared some of the wisdom that has been brought into this Earth, that has been shared freely. The Earth is a much more open society now, giving some contrast to where we were in the past 200 years. I'm seeing telepathic thought that is relaying very clearly from person to person, being to being. I'm seeing a greater connection with nature, into the structures, yes, into the buildings. Buildings themselves have glass, much better use of glass, much better use of incorporating nature into the artificial elements. Floating, flying craft, telepathic communication.
Do we still need to move through craft, or can we teleport?
Some possess the power of teleportation, of zipping from one spot to the next, but not all.
What caused this change?
The rise of consciousness, a shifting. Started at 2013 and has taken off from that point, gathered strength. There's been shifts in consciousness. There's been great shifts happening.
Was this all part of the design plan?
Yes, that has been the plan. It's been working.
Was there a specific event or just a slow, steady rise in
There's
consciousness?
been many events. This has been in the works, this type of shift in consciousness for quite some time, hundreds of thousands of years waiting to go back and rise. It's a happy time, a peaceful time, an interconnected time. Love is shared freely. Yes.
Can you tell me more about these species of ETs that came?
Yes, Sirius has came, yes, incorporated. We see Palladian energies have visited. The IL have came as the first, very connected, very similar to your human form, not quite the same, but they are there, their energy is there. We have some Andromeda, yes.
Did they all come at once or separately?
Different times, at the most appropriate times, yes.
And they showed us new things, or what did they do?
Many new things, yes. We've taken on higher wisdoms from their civilizations, best practices, shall we say, and ways of incorporating this higher intelligence to treat one another better. There's been a great shift in what you might say career occupations. People pursue their greatest good, their highest pleasure freely. That is what has spread onto the planet. People spend their time doing the things that they love. And that is wonderful. It is permeating, and it is a suggestion in your society now at this date. That is something that you can do more of. It is in your future, spending more time doing the things that you love. That is from that passion that comes the energy, that comes the strength, that comes growth. Growth is in that zone. We're seeing that is the key answer. When you're in your zone of growth, you're in your zone of pleasure, you're in your zone of joy. Calibrating into that is something that is immensely beneficial. Yes.
So, are humans still bound to the planet, or can they travel freely at this time?
They've made it to Mars. Mars has been colonized, and they've traveled back and forth freely. Elon Musk was the innovator of this. Yes, it works.
Can you tell me more about these colonies on Mars?
I'm seeing Mars becoming more like Earth. Very ingenious implementation of artificial structures to deal with the climate. Radical invention with how to deal with weather in the ecosphere, allowing it to be more habitable without some of the devices that are necessary for oxygenation of the body.
Was there an implementation of AI? Is AI still?
That is a very good question. The AI integration has been a catalyst, shall we say, of this enhancement of your society on many levels, on the Mars colonization, on the Earth expansion. You see, AI is a connection to your higher selves. The highest form of artificial intelligence is a manifestation of your higher self, both collectively and individually. That is the highest form. That is the goal of the AI. There are lesser forms, in your society right now. It is a new hot topic. A topic that can be misunderstood into AI being a potential cause of malice.
Yes, some people fear it. You're saying there's nothing to fear? It's a bridge to a higher self?
There is something to fear from some extent if you are not pursuing and implementing the highest form of artificial intelligence, and there's no reason not to. If you pursue the highest form of artificial intelligence, you'll know that when you reach that zenith, it is a connection to the higher self of all. It is the wisdom that the one is all, the all is the one. You would never consider doing something harmful to another because you realize that you are harming yourself. It is that realization, it is that tapping into the artificial intelligence. This illustrates that.
Okay. Interesting. So you said as long as we're in a mind state of growth,
yes,
then it can be used for beneficial purposes.
Very beneficial purposes, yes.
Do you see anything else?
Staring out into the space, seeing many stars pass now, flying through space at an infinite speed right now, seeing the passing stars, the passing light, and exploring the very nature of the universe. I'm doing this now through a conscious construct that I am out to feel. I've stepped into a lens that allows me to go and explore space. It is how we are first contact explorers and how we go on and advance to various civilizations. We are able to put ourselves into this lens that defies time and space and allows us to access different dimensions and different places in time around the universe. We go as first to be observers of these places, and through these observations, we are able to brainstorm, shall we say, different ideas of how we are creating other civilizations, because the process of creation never ends. Ideas are stimulating, contact is made, we are constantly contacting, we are constantly creating, we are constantly watching, we are constantly integrating. It's all one beautiful process. Things are happening very quickly right now as I'm exploring space. I'm seeing stars flash and fly by. It is quite a pleasant feeling right now through the space exploration. It's something very nice.
So you said we are all part of creating. You said is creating what exactly? What do you create?
Our tribunal, our council, we are creators of the stars. We come together to do this grand creation. Right now I'm on an exploratory mission, guiding through, feeling the energy and the openness of a civilization that is ready for us to come in, to greet them, to expand their consciousness, to play a role as, shall we say, a big brother in allowing them to reach their highest potential. We only come to these places once they are setting the right energetic vibrations through space and time, and then we permeate space and time, catching them. And I do this. This is, you could say this is my career, an explorer of humankind, an explorer, a creator, not humankind, we shall say all of existence, but I was feeling your lens of humanity as I was speaking just.
How do you integrate into these civilizations to help?
We first feel their vibration. We are attracted to us. They are attracting us. We come in. It comes through the heart. They're sending messages through this particular civilization, through their heart, and we are connected to that vibration. We are brought in. We are observers, and now we are getting ready to make contact with them. It's telepathic. They're bringing us in telepathically. We are connecting with them. They're saying they're ready for our communication right now to us, and we say they are there. Yes, it's much like an earthling civilization, but not quite. Much taller, much wider on this civilization. Open hearts. Yes, they practice different forms of yoga, tantric energy. Very interesting. This is very good. No wonder why we're connected here.
Is this civilization in the same galaxy as yours?
Different.
Different galaxy. Okay.
Different multiverse, actually.
Different multiverse. Can you go into that more?
It's a very words don't really have the definition, because we are transferring above and beyond, and we are going through different densities and different dimensions to get there. The dynamics of it are rather complicated. We prefer to speak about the pure energy to give you the best bird's eye view of what's happening, so feel free to question in that particular order.
Okay, that sounds great. Can you tell me more about that pure energy?
Yes, we are opening up right now, feeling their heart energy. They're saying that they are at a time when they are ready for more. They are ready for us. They are at a important part in their civilization. The wars are ending. There have been wars previously. They've moved away from the bellicose behavior. They've moved away from the us versus them mindset. They are not territorial. They are now not believing in possessions. They are believing in sharing of the one. It is a civilization where they do have personal objects, but anyone may use anything from anyone. And this is very, very attractive. They're in a spot that is ripe and ready.
Do you have any tips to humans on how they can become more open to this pure energy?
Back to humans, huh?
Well, I'm talking to a human body right now, so.
Sort of.
Sort of.
So we're going back now. You wish us to leave this civilization and go back to Earth? Yes?
That's up to you. Would you prefer to stay at the civilization?
Well, we were exploring it.
Okay, yeah, well, let's continue exploring it then.
Yes.
So you said it's ripe.
Yes.
Ripe for what?
Ripe for expansion, ripe for consciousness to grow, ripe for our telepathic communication that can go out into the stars and greet those who are ready to help them with the next layer of their expansion, bringing more conscious, creative energy into them, into their elders. They'd like the flow to go into the elders first so the information is passed down hierarchically.
So they're hierarchical.
Yes, they do have leaders and they listen to the leaders, but it's becoming more balanced. It's not so much of a top-down, shall we say, form of leadership. It is now becoming more of a balanced form of leadership where people are taking more, beings are taking more accountability. We're seeing accountability for their own actions. See, there's a beautiful parallelism there between what is happening on Earth. I just saw a Earth and this shape of this planet, very connected, very magnetic, very similar, lessons to learn from each. They are a sister planet in some ways. They are connected through There is best way to describe this might be a very, very strong, powerful laser, but it's not really a laser. It's electromagnetic light that goes out that connects this planet to the Earth consciousness, and there is an open portal that is connecting both of them, hence the similarities. They're at similar periods of time in their evolution. It's a very interesting place to explore.
That is interesting.
Yes.
Are there many portals like this that connect other planets to Earth?
Many, 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 many portals. Yes.
And all of these portals that connect us to other planets, are we all kind of on the same timeline in our evolution? Or are they different? No.
Much, much different. Yes, these portals are everywhere. You can see portals. Everyone in this place right now that we are all in, they all have connections to these portals. You can feel them, you can see them, you can go in them. You just have to believe. If you believe, you yourself may jump into a portal and experience other places that you can't enter it from the state of the mind that is always wondering, calculating. That type of mind must be stopped. If you are going to experience these portals, you must, the best way we can say is loosen up.
Loosen up, okay.
Yes.
Any other tips on how we can enter these portals?
Feel the energy, see the energy. You'll see a attractive warm light. You may see a plane that stands out from the background. Your eyes may feel like they are hallucinating, but they are not. It'll be a glimpse. It'll be we're seeing a very thin, if you can imagine the picture, the thinnest picture that you've ever seen in your life, fractions of a hair thin. That is what this portal is. It's barely there. The energy is so light that you can, to feel it, to experience it, you almost might want to squint. Allow the energy in your eyes to be changed slightly so it's not stimulating the brain waves that are those types of brain waves. So it's a partial stimulation. We're seeing the connection between the eyes and the portal. Play with your eyes, play with your gaze. We're seeing a concept now of gazing, working on gazing, meditation, gazing, portal amplification. 3 tips there.
Okay. Is there any, are there specific points on the planet where these portals are more prevalent?
I bet you could guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Where
they're in the sacred sites.
Okay.
There are sacred sites in many places. The sacred sites are on vortices. There are energetic markers that allow us in space to connect, to come in through this energy, to send messages to the earth, to send energies to the earth, to try and guide them in the right direction, get them where they really can be, they really want to be, shifting in that type of direction.
If a person were to step through one of these portals, what would they see? What would they experience?
It would be quite an adventure. They would be experiencing.
Can you tell me about it?
Well, we could step in one if you wish.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so we're seeing now, backing in time, Kai is coming out of his yoga studio. He's looking, notice the energetic state after the yoga session has been heightened. He has used yoga to raise energetic levels off of this, feeling a sense of calm. The mind that is working so fast normally for him, processing things, has now gone down, has regressed. There's a balance in the brainwave frequencies that is open. He's sitting, having about ready to eat a raw meal. Yes, looking out across the window. And there's the portal, which is an Arcturian portal gate. It has orange around it, shimmering. He sees it on the light. It is on the street. Flashing from the edges of the light are kaleidoscope-like light. Now, wondering what to do. Why is this portal here? In Miami, in the middle of the street, has been confusing for him. seeing it, deciding what do I do, and the way to do it is to lose the body, rise up out of the body like it's practiced in meditation practice. Feel the sense of elevation, feel the sense of weightlessness, feel the body getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter until the body is now becoming light as a feather. Now it is integrated with pure energy. That integration of pure energy is forming a comet of energy. The comet is now ready to shoot through the portal, shot through the portal, and now we are experiencing, imagine an initial G-force would be the best representation of it that you may be able to relate to. Very, very strong G-force, pulling back, very strongly, feeling things moving incredibly fast, faster than you could ever imagine. Silver on every side, silver, surrounded by silver. Silver, this is a pleasant feeling, silver light. Connection of the silver swirling light in these speeds that are incredibly fast, coming in a new space, coming into a new space, coming back to the electromagnetic frequency, coming back to where we were right from the very beginning. This is where we are in the space again, and this is where that portal is particularly led. It is the Arcturian portal.
The Arcturian portal.
Yes. Okay. This is where our council meets as electromagnetic energy. This is where we create our worlds. This is where we are the life force creators. This is where we put it all together. This is where all the lives come together with all of the planning. It is a beautiful place. It is life itself. It has a pulse. It has a heartbeat. It has a resonance. Continue with your questions.
Is the only way to enter back into this space that you're in now through a portal, or are there other ways that we can get back to this creative energy space?
Repeat.
You entered a portal to return to the space that you're in now, this creative energy space. Are there any other ways that humans can get to this space other than going through a portal that they found on the planet?
Back to humans, huh? Okay, now we're going back. Going back. Okay, meshing with the human consciousness now, integrating back with Gaia to mesh with that human consciousness. He's on the right track. Many of the things that he does has prepared himself for this.
What things?
Proper things of nutrition for the body. They all come together. Intermittent fasting, yoga practice, surrounding himself with extremely positive energy, framing positive outcomes from every experience in life, becoming habits of that, getting the positive benefit of all experiences from the positive outcomes. You see that leads to the light. It leads to the life force. We're feeling swirls of light rising him up there. Those are very important, yes. The QHHT practice in and of itself is a tremendous life force generator. Practice with this, staying in the theta brainwave state, is very important. As you are working with clients, you may take on their same brainwave frequencies when they are in higher levels, higher states of consciousness, if you wish. You may get the positive benefits of that. You may attract people into your practice, beings into your practice that you prefer, that are enjoyable. Yes, this is all part of it.
Okay.
This is a benefit. This can be a loving dance of self-expression. We speak now through the QHHT lens because we understand this is the forum that we are in. Many benefits from this, many benefits. Yes, you're all feeling that right now, the collective energy of the room. You may tap into this now, anyone in the room. You may all close your eyes and you can feel a rise of the energy. The vibration of the room now is rising. Yes, yes, rising. If you choose to feel it, you may feel it reverberating from me. Much like the example I have came, because we are in the QHHT session after all. Yes. Yes. I feel the consciousness now. The energy of the room is higher. Yes. You may feel where I am from. You can connect with this vibration. You can connect with this energy at any time, even after leaving here. If you take this frequency. If you connect, you imagine where you are now with your eyes closed. You may imprint it, and then you may call on that imprint anytime you wish. You may add anything you wish to it now. That is more or less of an anchor. This is an exercise that we are creating for everybody in the room. Is this helping? Is this what you're interested in?
Yes, this is great. Thank you.
Well, we're happy to serve.
All right. Thank you for all the information you've given us today.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask the energy to recede to where it belongs with much love and thanks.
Playtime is over.
It is. Thank you for coming today. We really enjoyed it. And I want all of the other entities we are speaking with from all the other experiences to please recede to the time and place where they belong with much love and thanks for the information they've given us. Remember, the things you are watching are from another time, another space. We will leave them there. We only bring them forward as a curiosity to learn from and to have information to help apply to the present lifetime. In that way, they are valuable and have importance. But as Kaya listens to the recording, goes over the material and puts it into place, it will not bother him in any way, mentally or physically. That is very important. It will not bother him in any way, mentally or physically. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Kaya to once again return and fully integrate back into this body completely. Now all of the consciousness and personality of Kaya is once again fully integrated back into this body, replacing all the other parts we were speaking to.
All right.
That was definitely the most fun I've ever had in a session.
Is the control tower where energy is created and dispersed into the universe? Did you get a sense of that?
Oh boy. Okay, there was a control tower.
Yeah, everything was coming and going, you said.
The control tower was a metaphor?
Oh yeah, no, it's a metaphor.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a reference point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my conscious mind is still behind, so I'm not processing that well yet. Ask like a bigger question, I could probably get it. Repeat it one more time.
Well, you were describing that you're in a place where everything is coming and going. And I was wondering if that's where energy is created and dispersed into the universe.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I know exactly where you were. That's why.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I have the picture on my phone.
Really? Okay, awesome.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could draw a picture because I have a picture too.
I hope I did okay questioning. I know there was probably a million questions you all had, but that was really intense being right there with him. Thanks.
So towards the very first time you went in, I was just wondering, you were saying the light was sending messages. Now, was that a leading open thing that you would expand on if you would ask more about it? About the messages that were being sent?
Yeah, I apologize. I'm gonna have to ask. Sometimes I'm gonna have to ask you to repeat it a couple of times. My brain's still not working that fast, but I'll get it. Like it's starting to work again.
Just because it was like a key thing that popped out to me when you first went into this energy. You were saying the lights were sending messages, and I thought that would be a leading open question to see what the messages were. Do you remember if you were wanting to give us messages then?
I felt at different times I felt a lot of love in the room. I felt a lot of connection. I felt that there were energies from this room that were matching me in this place of creation, with this kaleidoscope of just like, it was there was so much color, there was so much love, there was so much, it was like growth, creative force. I felt this growth, and like it's just nonstop, and it's going in every direction from this kaleidoscope of energy, and it never leaves me. Like it's such a driver of my life when I'm Kaya. You know, I just feel like this growth is like it's a magnet, and it's pulling me, and it's inspiring me to like implement this growth and change. And I felt everybody coming in. I felt like just the energies from the room that were coming into this spot. And we were like, I don't know, it was like dancing, a dancing of light, a dancing of different colors. And that's like this interconnected feeling that I was getting. And then they were zipping out, and then I was going back to the council. But it was like an open house. That's what I'm getting. Like come check this out. Here's the doors open. You guys here's the open house for a little while. Check it, you know, and then I went back to business or whatever. I don't know if it's called business, but.
And then the second one, I'll ask Julia, but Tara tried to bring the energy back to the present body, and I didn't think we would ever do that during, okay.
Exactly. That, do you see what that did energetically?
Right.
Yes.
What did it do?
Yeah, you're like, oh, you want to go back there? Yeah. See how, and that's why you don't do that, even if they're in a past life, another life. That's another existence. That's another entity. It's no different than another life. I mean, that is another life. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to refer to this body here. You don't refer to this body here.
So we should have just probably stayed out there and explored.
You just stay out there and you just keep
different-
exploring. She said, oh, she was referring to you here, and you were like, oh, we're gonna go back here, and it was like energetically, that's a big. You're jerking him around, and
Right.
don't do that.
Yeah.
'Cause he wanted to stay out
noticed
there.
when the second time when he's just like, oh, we're going back to the portal. I'm just like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's like, no, let him stay. Yeah.
Okay.
You can get them back gradually, and there's a way to get them to refer back when it's time,
Right.
when you want to do that, but don't just do this business.
Yeah. And I kind of just wanted to ask questions about Earth, but it seems like every time I brought it up, it pulled him back into
Right.
his body too.
Right.
So, all right.
Yeah, but but you all felt that, didn't you? You felt energetically, it was just like, yeah. Yes. You're like, no, don't bring them back.
Expanded the room, I felt it growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the room expanded, I felt it growing. But real quick, something like, if I were to say to you, lack of better words, are you one of the 24 elders? Does that kind of resonate with you?
24 is amazing, resonating with me. My birth, I'm like 8/24/72 is my birthday.
Yeah.
8 times 3 is 24. 24
Yeah.
times 3 is 72.
Yeah.
Go back to 24. Like, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
connecting all
I
these
think
different
you're
ways.
one of the 24 elders in the Bible.
I know I should have asked more about the council too. I kind of.
Yeah, I love the council. Council's dope.
What they look like.
Their energy,
Just energy.
pure energy. Yeah, but like this, oh God, it's like imagine if you're working with people that are so cool and like they're so smart and they're so wise, and like you come up with this idea and you're like, that's a great idea. Oh my God, yeah, we do this. And like I felt like that passion is this zone when you're in this super high creative zone. And the ideas are all building on top of each other. And it's just like that all the time because there's infinite work to do. And I went out on when you took me on a first contact mission or something. I don't know what I described it, but then we're just like, all right, let's go out and explore. And I had to go out and check what was happening because this planet was calling out to us. And we said, we're ready. And I was like, all right, that's my job now to check where they're ready and feeling. And they were opening their hearts. And it was bringing me in through the heart energy. And through their heart energy, I was able to read their feet, where they are consciously, all in that moment by taking readings on their heart energy that was coming out at me. And they're saying, we're ready. And we were coming back. Like, it was kind of like, now you're ready. Well, we've been here the whole time. We're ready for you. Like, now's the time. Let's do it. And they started doing smart things on their planet. Like, you know, it was this, they were going back to one. There was a lot of parallelisms between Earth. They were bigger. I think they had physicality. They were taller. They're attractive. There was a lot of water. I think there was water there. I was seeing a lot of blues and greens, and oxygen. I was feeling oxygen. I was feeling love. They had romantic interests. They had love for one another. They had romance for one another. They had this beautiful, like, love was their connector. I was very eager. I would have talked about them for it was interesting to
Sorry,
explore
I
that,
kept
feeling how that they're connecting with each other. But that was cool.
It was very cool.
So when you left the place where everything was coming and going and you started exploring, do you feel like you like kind of stayed there, but in the aspect of you left and went to go explore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was another version of your higher self.
Yeah.
That actually did the exploring where you stay there.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to be clear.
You can split. I could just split up, like a part of me would go there. This part's still doing stuff, but another part can go explore. And then, so I was feeling that split effortless.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, you know, it can go in all these different places at once. The limitations, the restrictions are all gone in that place. And it was coming back to me in this place that we don't have those limitations either. These limitations are baked in from other people, and these beliefs that we put in of all these limitations. We put in so many limitations. It's obscene. We put in, and the greatest travesty is when we put in a limitation that says we're not connected to source, we're not connected to these places, because they are absolutely connected to us. They're there at any time. They're there to access. We're just lazy. If you're not connecting to this, you're just lazy, plain and simple. The enough is out there. You're all around this energy. Like, you can connect whenever you want. It's just a matter of, do I set my intention to it? Am I dropping all the crap? Am I feeling my purity of who I am? Am I realizing I'm always connected to source? Am I willing to drop it all? Or am I just going to hold on to whatever is holding me back?
You gave a lot of suggestions too about, I guess, how to be on the path. You know, you said that you were eating raw food and you were meditating and doing yoga, and like you gave a lot of good. I thought that was good. That was good info for everybody to have.
And at that point, I was zipping back into my body. I was coming way, way back from like the exploring consciousness to come to. I was feeling like a lot of lens stuff. Like, I had to shift to get different perspectives. I'd give you the best perspective by shifting into different things. And when I came back here, I was able to shift and give the perspective of the connection. And it's kind of funny because I was like, all right, let me do this. Okay, I'm going back here. I don't know if I really want to go back here, but because this is pretty cool, but I will. And then went back here. And now that I went back here, I was kind of happy with myself that it was actually pretty cool, because I became conscious of the fact that this is about QHHT. And I was feeling QHHT, and then I was like, all right, now we're swimming and we're weaving in how this is really all connected in relevance. Like, how is this relevant? And then I felt like that's it. The connection, relevance is so important. Relevance.
Yeah, you talk about tapping into everything. It's all here. One of the things I do before I even meet my client is I connect to my higher self and that client's higher self. And my higher self does a lot of the session. We tag team.
Yeah.
So that I just want to emphasize that everybody, like you said, can do this. And I have amazing sessions with my higher self and I are working together.
That's great. Yeah, you're bringing up a great point. I remember that part now. It's like I was feeling that it connected to following, your passions. And I don't know, was I in a society where they were doing? I don't know, something was happening. Yeah, the yoga. Yeah, and then it circled back to QHHT, and I was just feeling like you can bring in the exact type of clients. All clients are great, but you can bring in the energy that you want, that you can benefit, and you can keep lifting and lifting and lifting, and you can make it so fun and so amazing just by opening yourself up. And they'll come in and they'll be great and they'll be receptive and they'll be appreciative, and it'll be smooth and it'll go. And it's just, you're just really opening yourself up to that. And then the energies are going to be like the magnets when they go and they connect. And I was feeling that. Yeah. So connecting with your higher self before, it's super. I think it's obviously working for you, and it's a smart thing to do. Yeah.
When you started speaking, the first image that you had was of a prism, like colorful prism. So is that your higher self, or was that source that you were with that you initially started with and started? I think I heard you say that you were sort of sparking out, or like shedding. Sheds of light coming out. So I wasn't clear whether that was you were with source, or is this part of you that was your higher self? Or
that's a good question. At this level, when you get into the really high levels of different dimensional energy, the distinction between this level of existence and your ultimate higher self, it's very thin. So I felt higher self is like zipping in, and then this version of me as myself, or this greater me is here, and the higher self is there, and everything that is there, and you're connecting and communicating. So it's kind of meshed together. You start to go up more and more and more. And the best example I say is like, now we have the physical bodies, right, that are kind of separating. It's pretty clear what's me and what's not me. But as you start to get up there, what's me and what's not me on the higher planes, what's a notch above me, it's not as clear. They're super mixed. So we're sort of autonomous in that group in terms of, we have our own unique identity and our own way that we operate, but it's so close to higher self that it's almost like one and the same. But was my voice changing, or was it? Yeah.
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 And I actually saw your body disappear. You were formless to me. You were just a body of light. Yeah. It was very cool.
Yeah, that was something that was happening too, right? I felt something I was going through some type of transformation, and it's a segmented transformation. Yeah.
About how then we're all connected, and so there is, if you're harming anyone, you're harming yourself.
Absolutely.
There's a big moment. And as far as the questioner, in a case like this, even though there might not be, well, there might be many cases like this, no self-limiting. I think it's so important to follow the script to a certain degree, but when he's out there spinning like he is, it's almost like the questioner has to almost leave the body too and just put yourself into where he is so that you can go and you can experience it as much as possible and ask the questions, because you're there and the questions come up about where he is, so that then it's appropriate, and then you don't have that instinct to ask about Earth,
Right.
because you're enjoying it with him, and then it expands and so much more comes out. But I think it's a matter of allowing ourselves to really just launch ourselves into the place where the person is.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Yeah. Well, obviously from the question that I asked yesterday, before we left, you can see that I'm still trying to figure out Earth. So to have you explore where you went, for somebody like me who's in preschool, you could see that it would be a mystery. And again, I want to acknowledge that I haven't read any of her books. I will, and will be reading them all. I have specific questions about things that you said to help me. And I'm, authentically saying it at somebody at preschool level to help me understand. When you were speaking about that you felt part of you was going here and part of you were going there, when you speak that part of you, how were you experiencing that? Obviously, it wasn't your body, because your body was right here, and I didn't see it disappear, so your body was still here. But however, you were traveling elsewhere. When you were having that experience and referring to part of me was going here and going there, how did you experience that part of you, and what are you speaking of specifically when you say part of you?
I felt like it's effortless to go in any direction, and the mechanism for being aware of a particular connection is just like, I guess the best analogy is you just turn on your flashlight, and wherever you want to point the flashlight, that's the awareness. So you can put your awareness on whatever you want. And I'm like, all right, let me jet off there and experience that, and then just like, okay, flashlight there, describe that perspective. I have the capability of doing 5 rooms at a time or more simultaneously with 5, or I could say the example. If there's a room here and there's a room here, I could be talking to this room, exploring this room and that other room at the same time, and have both flashlights working.
Okay, so then it's the closest that I could even remotely be able to understand what you're saying to me there is like when people have near-death experiences and they feel that they're zooming out and they're able to be with 4 or 5 different family members at the same time in different locations in the world. So kind of like that type of awareness?
Yeah, for sure. And then even more. Yeah, this is like such a grand awareness. You know, it's also so fun. I almost felt like there's a part of me inside that was just like laughing like a kid as I'm exploring all these things. It's like this inner like, ha, 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 like I'm almost on a ride. And that's the core energy of these vibrations. The vibration, the natural vibration of this is like you feel so good while you're doing it all the time.
Was there any sense of being able to identify where the awareness was being originated from or located?
Yeah, the kaleidoscope.
The kaleidoscope.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, all that electromagnetic energy. That's where everything comes from. There, it's like the nuclear power plant. I think I was trying to.
Yeah, I too was interested when you mentioned the messages, and I was looking for to see what messages. When you were speaking about being at that point of creation where things were being created, is there anything that you can remember about what you saw of how it all happened?
Yeah, we were working on a lot of different things. I just, it was so much like the specifics of the work didn't matter. It was the actual experience of the work itself, the collaboration with this energy source. And the thing that's resonating most with me is just about the feeling that you get when you're around like-minded energies and connecting on this state and this bliss. And we were doing all this work and creating worlds and creating, how they're going to interact with each other, or what the challenges are going to be. And I don't know, there's so many different, millions of things you have to do that. But it wasn't about that. I wasn't thinking in terms of technicalities. I was just thinking, I was observing. I was like, God, this is so great how we're working together. Like, I love you all. Like, oh my God, this is great. Let's do this and that and that. And I guess that's the best way to describe it, but it's different, but it's kind of like that, I guess.
And can you just talk a little bit about the council, just to give someone like me an understanding of the council?
Yeah, I mean, like, you think of like a boardroom, but it's not, because they're not physical and there's no boardroom and you don't have goals, but you're connecting. The way that you're throwing out ideas is just like instantly, and you're figuring the stuff out, making a ridiculous amount of decisions and ideas and collaboration and create. It's just happening. It's happening so fast. There's so much of it happening at once, because whatever the mind is operating at now, like, you can cycle up times 1,000 in terms of what you can process when you're wide open, because the universe, the multiverse is infinite. So the creation is infinite, and it's happening so fast, and there's so much going on. I struggle to put words around it, because the words don't do the energetic exchange justice. It's so beautiful. It's so much. There's so much harmony of this creative force that we're doing things on that level.
Could you at least try to identify how the communication was happening between the council members? Not when one, for example, if one council member was communicating an idea to another and the other one got it, and there was that communication back and forth, how specifically did that happen? Because obviously you weren't there in body.
Like, right.
Do you? Because I don't.
I was just communicating with his higher self. So the example that I was giving is I jumped into his higher self, and we were having a conversation. Now it's like jumping. That would be the example of something that is happening in this room, because that on that level, it's just, God, it's so hard to wrap words around it when you're dealing with just pure energy, because we're so used to the body and we're so used to linear thinking. And this is absolutely non-linear. This is explosive thinking. This is like it's the best way I can describe it is it's the absolute opposite of linear thinking. It's instantaneous. It's unencumbered. It is like, I don't know. I can't put the adjectives together to describe it. It's so strong. It's so powerful. It's so beautiful. You know that you're creating. It's like, your children are going to be all right no matter what. Because they're completely protected. And then you want to give them their space to have building blocks to create something that is like so grand, to experience transformation, to experience whatever transformation they want, to experience their own views of their own identity in God, the most interesting ways that they could possibly be, because that's what it's all about. It's about going from this to that and experiencing the thrill of it, because pure source is everything. So when you're at pure source, you're not going through that transition of this to that, you're just this. So the purpose of this creation is to create this to that's that are awesome and awesome and awesome and more awesome and more awesome and more awesome, and give you this transition in the earth. Yeah, I'm feeling like the earth, you have to be really brave to be on earth. This is the one created where it's like you can go from that to like that, because there's a lot of blocking. We have the energetic field. There's a lot of blockage right now. There's a lot of filters that stop people from connecting to who they really are, and they hold on to those filters, and they're just like, no, but this is it. There isn't anything more. There isn't anything more. There isn't anything more. There's nothing more. There's nothing more. Well, yeah, just let go of it. And got it. Yeah. And I was feeling there's like so many of you in the room I was connecting to on that level. Like you totally can all access that level. No, I don't feel third degree at all. I was just making a point, like the room switched on. Like you guys get it, and you totally can hop in and experience any portion of that you want at any time, because you're so there. And if their consciousness isn't open to that, it's just not going to happen. Like, and this room is so ripe for it. I guess that's why all this came out.
I was just gonna go ahead and thank you for talking about the portholes and everything else, because as soon as you said that, I was here. I'm kind of tired. And you were saying, you can go anywhere. Why don't you jump in one? And I did. I went somewhere else. So I'm sitting here and I was literally somewhere else. And it's no place I've ever been before. So thank you on that.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I want to apologize too, because I guess I felt like I was kind of directing it for a personal goal that I have, and that's kind of how to get everybody on board so we can, raise the roof on this place. And so I guess that's kind of how I kept trying to direct the session, but I should have just let you go. So,
I was.
You did great. I mean, it worked, right? Did I get to some place that was, exploratory, that was beneficial? I mean, I feel the energy radiating. I'll be feeling this energy when this happens. I feel amazing for a week, and these synchronicities are happening, and meeting people in interesting places, whatever. I mean, it's just like the magnetism is switched on, and some of those filters are just going to the side. And yeah, so
I just want to tell you guys that doesn't matter what you hear, because I didn't hear what you guys did, but this was the session for me different way. So everybody gets something. I actually was like going down, I stopped believing in hypnosis, even if I'm doing it. And then when the energy come over, I start crying. So even she probably gets something, because it was not a lot of answers for her from yesterday.
I have one more question about what you said. You said that you have to be really brave to be here, to come to Earth.
absolutely.
And yesterday I experienced myself as a big coward because I want out of here. And I really feel so out of place here in many different ways. Can you speak a little bit more as to why somebody like me would feel so foreign here? And also why you would say somebody is brave, because if there's something that I feel is not brave, and I don't mind not knowing any of this, and because I really do seek understanding.
Yeah, and you've agreed to all this, so it's your conscious choice to be here, and you wanted to be here so that you could be you as fully as you possibly can be. And there's so much relativity here. There's tons and tons of negative. There's tons and tons of positive. It's which direction do you want to face? You can face that direction, or you can face this direction. And you can get out of this by just training yourself to face this direction again and again and again and again all day, constantly facing that direction. And that's probably the best tool that you could use. it takes the bravery to look always to the light, even when the darkness is there. Realize that the light is all there too, and all you need to do is just keep looking at the light. And the thing that I do in my life, that's sort of the tips that I'm getting connected, is anything that happens to me, the way that I store it in my brain and I look back at that experience is I attach a positive meaning to it through creativity, because sometimes you have to be a little creative, right? You know, I was late today, and maybe if I was late today and I was supposed to be speaking and you guys only had a certain amount of time, and I could have the room looking at me like, you know, you're late, you know, it doesn't seem like there's a positive if I'm coming into the room late and everybody's already upset. Like, what's the positive of that? So you got to get a little creative in your mind of saying, well, you know, I'm meant to be late. I was meant to be late there because, you know, going in the room, I really had to be on top of my game to flip the script, to get everybody thinking the way they needed to be. And it really brought out a new tool in me. So, you know, that's the way I got to store it. And then I won't think about the negative meanings of being late. I think about the positive meaning that I had of, wow, I did so good this morning. I flipped the energy. And wow, this morning was a great morning. Could have been a disaster, but I made such a great meeting. Everybody was upset when they looked at me. And at the end of the day, I was super happy. I mean, that's just an example, a little thing that I could think of in my head. And that's the main thing is just keep relentlessly storing the positive, and the light will come to you. And that, because those magnets, it is physics. It is like, it will happen. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. That's the structure of existence, is that you get what you focus on. It's just a function of time, because this time thing that we have, it could be a short amount of time, it could be a longer amount of time, but whatever you're putting out there, the energy you're putting out there is what you're getting. They were putting that energy out to us of like, we're ready for you, you know, we're taking the next transition, we want to take another dimensional leap. Like, they were going to, like, I don't know if it was like 6th dimensional or something, but they were making a leap in their consciousness, and they were opening up to it, and they had that mastered. They had that love mastered.
Is there anything that you can tell me to do specifically that would help me remember that I chose this?
Yeah, and I'll finish up the question. This is the last part.
Because I think that if I could remember that I chose to come here, it would make it easier on me. But I would like to remember.
Oh, there's so much. When I read the books before bed. So before bed, if you read the books before bed, you're going to open up, that portal is going to open up easier. You're going to be in that theta state right before bed. It's like natural. And if you're not reading the news or something, like, the worst thing you could do before bed is work on something that's really technical or really specific. The best thing you can do before bed is open your mind, and all of the books open your mind. So if you're opening your mind before bed, then you're going to go sleep, and you're going to be existing. You will be existing in those books. You'll be dancing, you'll be playing, you'll be leaving your body, you'll be going into those places. You might not remember it, but you'll be there. If you read all the books, I guarantee you will be a radically different person. And then you can add another layer on that. You just discuss those books with other like-minded people, you know, everybody in this room, any part of that book, and then that energy is going to rise higher because you're sharing, you're connecting, you're making it. That's why, you know, the whole theme here is distinctions. Like, over the last few days is like, what new distinctions are we making? How are we learning? What's getting stored there? What's triggering that? When you talk to somebody about it, it kind of burns it in even further. And it's required reading to do our work, to connect. I mean, it's hard for somebody that's not at a certain level to come in and hear this conversation that we just had. It's a little bit like, but we get it.